You know, those brown informational road signs that we blow by all the time? Yeah, they say, hey, there's a cool thing over there. But outside of the RV lifestyle, you just blow right past them. I did. Maybe you do too. Now, in the RV lifestyle, I have learned that those brown informational road signs point to something really awesome. Probably. I now take those roads and do some discovery. Today, I'm going to show you the Golden Spike National Historic Park and the two critical elements of American history that built the foundation upon which our society largely still resides upon today. It all started with a Harvest Host site. Let's get into it, and I think you're going to enjoy this. Thanks for tuning in today. Really appreciate that. My name is Scott. I'm your host. Welcome to Go Small, Live Large, a YouTube channel dedicated to the Class B RV lifestyle. That would be a van. And what we do here is we share the places, the people, and the things that we learn on the road, and then you decide what's best for you. Learn, share, you decide. That's what we do here. Really excited to share this video with you today. It really brought home some of the elements of an RV lifestyle day that I didn't expect, and that's the way those things sometimes roll. We learn about American history. I take a guitar lesson in the parking lot in this really special place in American history, and it all started with a Harvest Host site. So let's jump into leaving the Harvest Host site, going to Golden Spike National Historic Park, and learning about some American history. Let's go. So I was headed to Salt Lake City to have my van lifted, and I saw the brown sign about the Golden Spike National Historic Park. The National Historic Park is about 90 minutes from Salt Lake City. I did stop at the Harvest Host golf location for overnighting. Now what's exciting about that Harvest Host location is that it's only 25 miles from there to the Golden Spike National Historic Park. And that is really why I stayed, because it was just a short way off my main course. 25 miles west of I-84, the small town of Trenton, is the Golden Spike National Historic Park. Only 30 minutes away. Why not check it out the next morning? This little adventure occurred in mid-October of 2020, and I got there not only to the Harvest Host, which was largely Interstate 84, but to the Golden Spike location itself was a combination of the interstate, state, and county roads. So here we can see entrance fee required. Don't know what that amount is, but bad news, no overnight camping. Telegraph. For the first time, through the miracle of electricity and a tiny copper wire, a communication revolution sprung. This is cool. This is a replica of the last spike. The original is at Stanford University, but this replica actually flew on the Atlantis space shuttle, kind of hard to read there, in November 1990. Not very big. I was expecting a giant thing, maybe because it was made of gold. As important as the railroads connecting east and west coasts, so was communication. Check this out. And as important, if not even more so, the connecting of telegraph wires, bringing coast-to-coast communication. And through the miracle of the internet, cellular, living in a van, I am actually getting ready to have a guitar lesson. I'm in near Salt Lake City, Utah. My instructor is in Seattle, and we'll be playing my guitar. This is my third lesson. I'm picking it up. But just think about the magic of having a guitar lesson in my RV in the parking lot of the Golden Spike National Historic Landmark thing. I just finished a conference call from work. This is pretty cool. Well, let me tell you where I am today, and you have to look it up. I'm in like about 90 minutes northwest of Salt Lake City. I'm at the Golden Spike National Railway Historic District, where they pounded the Golden Spike to unite the two railroads for the first. The
silver hammer, right?
It's Gold Spike. There was.
Didn't they do it with the silver hammer?
I haven't read that yet. You're probably right, but definitely a Gold Spike.
The Transcontinental Railroad.
Exactly. So it's right behind me. And what I hadn't really thought about was not only the importance of uniting both coasts via railroad for people and cargo, but it was when they connected the first intercontinental telegraph wire. So now there is coast-to-coast communications for the first time. So those two events changed the world as they knew it, and certainly we still live from those benefits today. So it's pretty magical that I'm doing this with you in the parking lot in 1849, something like that. All this stuff came together. And we're doing guitar lessons in the parking lot over Zoom. D. So the two locomotives, Jupiter and number 119, were steam-driven locomotives powered by two different fuels. One was wood, the other was coal, and then water was part of the equation as well. What fascinated me is the amount of resources consumed by those two locomotives to drive them forward. Are you ready for this? They each carried about 2,800 gallons of water that had to be filled up about every 30 miles. 119 was fueled by wood. It carried 4 tons of wood. It would go 15 to 30 miles and they would have to refuel. Jupiter was burning coal, 6,000 tons of coal. It could go 150 miles. Just a fascinating part of American history, ingenuity, get it done. Took tons of resources all the way around, and that was an amazing stop. I really, really enjoyed that, and I'm glad I stopped. We're gonna go look at where the train trestle was, and then we're gonna call it a wrap here at the Golden Spike National Historic Area. So on Monday, noon, May 10th, 1869, the $1 billion dream came true. Let's check out Luke. So what's always funny about him is whenever the scent in the air changes like it has now, and I turn the key off, that indicates that it's time to check things out. Luke, can you go outside? Outside? He's like, I'm waking up, Dad. Can you let me wake up slowly, please? He's like a big kid, isn't he? Okay, let's go check it out. So thanks to the attentive ranger at the visitor center there, we are actually headed to the rocket display, which I did not know about. And the importance of this is it's propulsion systems for NASA, 1940s all the way to today. And here we are right here. Let's take a look. That was an amazing stop because we're looking at 100 years of progress here. Rocket Garden, and then the trains meeting just literally over that hillside back in the 1849s. And that's just why we RV. These are tools for learning, tools for adventure, and tools for just being better enriched people, citizens, residents of the planet Earth. But that's pretty amazing. I'm really glad the ranger pointed that out to me because, again, looking at 150 years or 100 years of progress in literally this amount of space right here, that is just amazing. And space shuttle, you know, I'm a space shuttle freak, and that's the solid rocket booster, as you probably know. And the demise of 2 shuttles was because of a failure. Well, one of them. The other was a tile situation, but that was really cool. Morton Thiokol here in Utah. Who would have known? All right, with seeing the Golden Spike connecting the Transcontinental Railroad and telegraph systems, and now seeing the Rocket Garden, we're headed to Salt Lake City. You ready? He always gives the air a sniff to see what's up. So I hope you enjoyed that video. A little atypical of what we typically do here, but it was just really a big deal in my mind of the coming together of the 2 railroads and the coming together of the telegraph wires for the first time, having a transcontinental transportation and communication system that I think we still build upon today, largely. And then to follow that very historical moment in time, 100 years later, by the Rocket Garden. It's just a really poignant exclamation point on the progress we can have as a people and a nation, as a world, if we put our heads together and really make big things happen quickly and with the impact on humanity to better lives for everybody. I'm getting a goosebump chill, kind of just retelling and rethinking of that special day. So again, if this kind of content is interesting to you, give it a thumb up. Sure appreciate it. Comment below. Is this something you would like to visit, get more content like this? Any questions about this whole thing? Down below, I'll put some resources to these historical points. And again, subscribe if you like this kind of content, and that will help grow the channel as well. Would I recommend going to Golden Spike or not? I would say if you were in the Salt Lake City area, certainly if you're on Interstate 84 going north or south, stop at the Harvest Host Golf Site and then go see the Golden Spike. Just because, again, it's a pivotal moment in American history that many people really don't understand well. And then if you're into trains, it's a must-see, in my opinion. So yes, but I wouldn't drive across the country to go see it. But if I'm passing by, definitely stop. So with that, I thank you again. It's always a joy to have you being part of the success of this channel. So thank you, and until we see you soon, I wish you to journey on.